Now on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a man is still missing after a boating crash near Port O'Connor almost a week ago. Search efforts are expected to continue for him this morning. And we're learning more details about the murder of a man found shot inside of a car in Bay City. 2 teens are now arrested in this murder, while a third man is on the run from police. Plus, embattled Congressman George Santos recusing himself from sitting on committees. We have that and more ahead.
And looking on the outside this cold morning, one last live view from Cuero for our IFC weather book camera. See cloudy skies, light rain falling north of Cuero. Some freezing rain is being reported. Be careful of driving out there, of course. And cold conditions will continue at least for a little while longer, and then the warm-up begins. We'll talk about it in your full forecast.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain. Today is the first day of February 2023. The time is now 6:31 on your Wednesday morning, and today, if you have a sweet tooth, it's your day. It's National Baked Alaska Day. That's when ice cream and cake come together. Hard ice cream with a sponge cake base covered in a shell of toasted meringue. Now, I've only seen this dessert on the video game The Sims, but Trey's actually had it himself. Trey, what can you tell us about this dessert?
Yes, it is good. I tell you what, it tastes good even today.
Don't they light it on fire right in front of you?
They do. It's quite a unique experience, I guess you could say. It tastes good too. So if you have a chance to get some of that, Baked Alaska, I would recommend. 33 degrees, and they had actually bring it up here, by the way. 33 degrees on the outside of Victoria, just above freezing. Northerly winds near 10 to 15 miles per hour, gusts of 25. Light rain falling and a little bit of light drizzle actually in Victoria County. The heavier rain, which is still light, coming from Wharton area toward the Houston-Galveston area. And north of Gonzales right now, this is the freezing rain areas from north of San Antonio, San Marcos, New Braunfels to Austin, Giddings toward Brenham, and pointing north from there, College Station area. So if you're driving up to this part of the country, if you plan to, maybe wait for a better time to do so because the roads are slick up there with the freezing rain likely in that area. Winter weather advisory and the warning still in effect. We'll show you that here momentarily. Rain likely throughout the day into the overnight tonight. Warming trend begins on Thursday. I think we'll maybe be above 50 degrees coming up for Thursday. Not today though. Keep the winter weather advisories for all the counties you see here, Lavaca, DeWitt, Goliad, B, and Karnes, and for the rest of the day. And for the threat of freezing rain still in these areas here. Gonzales County northward, and includes, of course, the city of Gonzales. That is a winter storm warning in effect for freezing rain. Still continuing to fall on that location there. So keep that in mind, of course. And a little bit longer, till 9 a.m., Goliad County and B County freeze warning for temperatures at or just below the freezing mark there. And for us around here, well, still dealing with the cold temperatures today. Nice sweater and big coat day. Tomorrow, warming trend. We'll talk about that in your forecast. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. The search for a missing boater is still underway. Hunter Hadley disappeared Friday night after a boating crash near Port O'Connor. The Calhoun County Sheriff's Office says the call came in around 11:30 p.m. Friday after Hadley's boat hit a large barge. Another man on board the boat with Hadley was seriously hurt. He's in recovery at a San Antonio hospital. Search efforts are expected to continue today. The family of Jared Applin is remembering him this morning. The 25-year-old was found dead inside of a car last Tuesday in Bay City. Family members say he was the father of 2 little girls and was also caring for his fiance's son. Applin was found at a former elementary school in the 1200 block of Whitson Street. 2 teens are in custody and a 23-year-old man remains on the run. Authorities in Bay City say 17-year-old Clarence Small turned himself in last Thursday in Baytown. He's charged with murder and aggravated robbery in Applin's death. Small is in the Matagorda County Jail. Still on the run is 23-year-old Joshua Caesar. He may be in the Bay City area or in the El Campo area. He's considered armed and dangerous. A 16-year-old juvenile was also detained in this case and faces murder charges and several other charges in the case. If you have any information that you think could help with this case, call the Bay City PD at 979-245-8500. Gas prices on the rise once again. No exceptions of relief expected, with no expectations of relief anticipated anytime soon. For 5 straight weeks, gas prices have jumped. AAA reports the current average for a regular gallon of gas is $3.50, which is far more than what the average was heading into New Year's Day and what prices were 1 year ago. Experts say the average price of gas could reach $4 per gallon later this year. One reason for the increase could be that demand for gas has risen while the price of oil has slowly increased. Congressman George Santos, who has admitted to lying much about his background, plans to recuse himself from both of his congressional committee assignments. 2 lawmakers tell national news sources Santos shared his decision in a closed-door meeting Tuesday. He is now under investigation by the Ethics Committee. The New York Republican was assigned seats on the House Small Business and Science Committees. Santos has been entangled in controversy since the New York Times reported that much of his life story, including his work history and personal life, was simply not true. Santos confirmed again Tuesday he is not resigning his seat. On Monday night, the moon eclipsed Mars in what is referred to as an occultation. An occultation happens when a planet disappears from our view directly behind the moon's left side and reappears an hour later on the opposite side. You can see it there on your screen. It happens because all the planets in the solar system orbit roughly on the same plane as Earth. As the planets move across the sky, they move along an ecliptic, the path in which the sun, planets, and the moon follow. The next Mars occultation visible through most of the U.S. will be on January 13th, 2025. All right, get your cell phone and scan this QR code. It's our quick response code to download the Crossroads Today app. You can get breaking news alerts, vote in our viewer poll, get the latest news, weather, and sports, and learn all about our ongoing contest right there on the app. Submit those news tips and photos. The time is now 6:37 on your Wednesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. 5 people hospitalized following a mobile home fire early Tuesday.
I'm ABC's Justin Finch in Memphis, where the family of Tyree Nichols is laying him to rest today as new details emerge about 2 Memphis police officers charged in his death. That and more coming up.
Rain still falling on the crossroads, most of it liquid precipitation from Gonzales southward toward the coast, beginning to lessen a little bit as it moves toward the east with time. Rain chances not totally out of the picture quite yet. We'll talk about that in your forecast.
We're starting out 2023 with Will Martin as your military hero for the month of January. Will is also one of the first veterans we've honored posthumously at Crossroads Today, because earlier this month, Will passed away. But that doesn't mean his impact is gone. Will was born in Wharton, and soon after his family moved to Victoria, where he'd spend his entire life. Will was raised by his grandparents, and in 1965 he joined the United States Navy, serving in the Vietnam War. Will was a Navy Seabee, which is a special unit in the Navy whose formal name is the Construction Battalion, hence the name CB. Essentially, Seabees are true to their motto: they can build just about anything, anywhere. Will's wife, Marilyn Martin, notes that there aren't many Seabees around.
So there's just not that many of them around. So whenever you hear somebody's a Navy Seabee, you go, oh my gosh, you know, my grandpa was, or my husband was. So there's not many of them around.
After serving in the Navy, Will went on to work in the oil fields and then selling tires, and would go on to have 3 daughters. Once he retired, his service didn't end there. Will would go on to be a champion for veterans, becoming a lobbyist for charitable bingo for veterans.
They always said he just went from the oil field to the Capitol. So, you know, he's a registered lobbyist. It was for charitable bingo for veterans benefits.
It didn't stop there. Will also played a key role in cracking down on illegal game rooms. These would facilitate illegal activities and would be harmful to the community. So Will did whatever he could to eliminate these, and even helped pass a bill to set guidelines for game rooms that they must follow. He was also one of 9 members on the Texas Bingo Advisory Committee.
Because he is responsible for, they did write a bill and pass that, and he's pretty much responsible for getting that bill passed.
Will also wanted to cut down on the red tape to ensure veterans were able to access benefits.
We know some of the things that veterans go through, the hardships that they endure, and you know, PTSD, and also trying to get benefits. And he tried to get through making things easier for veterans, you know, trying to reduce some of the red tape.
Will was also instrumental in the inception of the Field of Honor off John Stockbauer. But one of his greatest impacts during his time here on Earth, you don't have to look far. Just talk to his grandson, Tyler Neese, who Will took in when Tyler was just an infant, which has impacted Tyler's life trajectory tremendously.
He's the reason why I even bothered graduating high school. He's the reason why I'm even in college. Without him, my life wouldn't be this if it wasn't for him.
Taking him under his wing, Will showed Tyler the ropes, helping him hunt and showing him how to fish, and even things like never missing a football game or practice showed Tyler how much his grandpa Will loved him.
It was weird because I always wanted the mom and dad type thing, and I never really thought about it as anything like that until high school, when I'd started to realize some things, that my grandma and my grandpa were my mom and dad, because they took me under their wing when they didn't have to. They didn't need to spend these last 21 years with me, but they did it because they love me, and I think that's kind of what I respect most about my grandpa. He was diehard to the bone about his family, his veterans, anybody and everybody.
And it's because of his grandpa that Tyler will see to it that he graduates with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice next year, not just for himself, but to make his grandpa proud. And Tyler can still feel his grandpa guiding him through life.
The little short talks that we had every night, and I think that's kind of what's been keeping me at least okay, is because I can still feel that he's there in my heart and in person.
And it's brought a lot of joy to both Marilyn and Will having Tyler in their lives.
That kept us young, kept us on our toes, that's for sure. But it most definitely brought great joy to us, and especially to Will.
Marilyn knows Will would be surprised by how much he is missed and loved.
I don't think Will would have known how much people loved him, appreciated him, and miss him. Most of all, me.
So thank you, Will Martin, for your dedication to those that you love and your community. And thank you to all the veterans out there, past and present, who keep our country safe every day and protect our freedoms as Americans. Adam Seibel reporting in Victoria, KAVU TV 25 News Now.
Do you have pain, numbness, or burning in your hands or feet?
I got my flexibility back. Pain is gone.
Prickling pain often caused by peripheral neuropathy?
The Zappo feeling has gone away and there's no pain.
Are you suffering from chronic knee pain and stiffness? Or have you been told that knee surgery is your only option?
Now that I've had this treatment and I can walk a little bit, I feel like I got my life back.
Call Neurogenics now. Our physician-run medical offices in Victoria are helping our Texas patients move on from their chronic knee pain and their pain and numbness from peripheral neuropathy without surgery and without medications. Our treatments are covered by Medicare and most insurance.
You can move around, you can go back to what you used to do.
To get relief just for my toes, it makes me feel like $1 million.
Call Neurogenics now. Our unique non-drug, non-surgical, and non-chiropractic treatment program is helping our Texas patients end their chronic knee pain and peripheral neuropathy pain. Call us now. Neurogenics is standing by to help you move on from the pain.
Good morning, good morning. What a cold morning it is. Trey Mining here, by the way. And temperatures, well, in the just above freezing everywhere you go, except for Nixon, right at freezing. Gonzales to Cuero, and 34 to 37 degrees down on the coast. Wind chills, ooh, look at this, quite cold. This is definitely a big coat day and sweater combined day. I'm thinking wind chills currently in the teens up there near Gonzales to Cuero area, Yoakum, and also in the low 20s on the way down to the coast. And mid-20s coming up about 2 o'clock in the afternoon is probably as high as it's going to get, near 30 degrees on the immediate coast, and then keeping in the 20s pretty much all day long. A little bit warmer coming up for your 4 p.m. on your Thursdays. We'll begin a warming trend kind of coming in from south and southwest from southwesterly winds. So the temperatures will begin to warm, not today, but starting tomorrow. And looking at the big picture of the state of Texas, cloud cover throughout the entire state. And here comes the tropical moisture up and over the cooler at the surface, causing the big icing event in northern Texas and down to Austin. Not so much in our area here, but notice as we go through the rest of the graphics here, it begins to move further to the east with time. Then we'll see some clearing coming up by your Thursday into your Friday. We'll talk about that in the full forecast to come. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. Later today, the family of Tyre Nichols will lay him to rest. The 29-year-old's death shocking the nation after the release of video showing several Memphis police officers violently beating him during a traffic stop. Now, 5 former officers are facing second-degree murder charges, and this morning, we're learning more about 2 of those fired officers.
This morning, Tyre Nichols' family heartbroken as they prepare to say their final goodbyes.
I really hate that, like I wasn't here, but like for real.
Jamal Dupree wishing he was there the night Memphis police pulled over his brother Tyre. Nichols' family vowing to get justice.
We got a long fight ahead of us.
That's right.
And we got to stay strong for it.
Understood.
So, justice for Tyre.
Justice for Tyre.
ABC News obtained the initial police incident report contradicting what was caught on video. The police report omits officers kicking and punching Nichols, though it's seen on several cameras, saying only one officer deployed his baton while giving verbal commands to stop resisting, striking him several times in the right arm. The report later claiming officers were able to take Nichols into custody after several verbal commands. But the body cam video shows Nichols injured and slumped on a car as officers stand by. 24 minutes passing before aid is rendered. Nichols died 3 days later. And new details from the files of 2 officers accused in Nichols' murder. Desmond Mills Jr. and Demetrius Haley both received written reprimands for failing to file required paperwork after making arrests where force was used. They're among the 5 Memphis police officers and 3 Memphis Fire Department personnel fired over Nichols' death. 4 other law enforcement officers were placed on leave pending investigation. And among those attending today's service, Vice President Kamala Harris. The city of Memphis also announcing more audio and video from Nichols' arrest could be released in coming weeks as officials carry out criminal and administrative investigations. Justin Finch, ABC News, Memphis.
5 people were hospitalized following a mobile home fire early Tuesday. The fire happened around 9 a.m. at this home in Bloomington. The 5 people were taken to the hospital as a precaution and are expected to be okay.
We have transported 5 members. There are 3 adults and 2 children to one of the local hospitals for observation.
The cause of the fire is under investigation. And in Cuero, firefighters responding to this fire yesterday around 6 a.m. This was near Esplanade and Morgan. The building was vacant and had no electricity or gas services. Locals say it used to be a cabinet shop, but it was abandoned for several years. No word yet on what caused the fire. The time is now 6:48 on your Wednesday morning. Still to come, the CDC urging healthcare providers and consumers to stop using EzraCare artificial tears eye drops.
Let's be real, even if you know how to cook fast for a living, you don't always have time to search for fresh ingredients. That's why I partnered with Home Chef. With Home Chef, you get easy recipes with fresh ingredients delivered right to your door. These meals have delicious flavors. How good is that? Let's get cooking.
Home Chef. Delicious meets simple. Get 16 free meals when you sign up at homechef.com. You can enjoy endless entertainment and local news updates for free on our 17 over-the-air channels. Connect your TV antenna to your smart TV in 3 easy steps. Connect the coaxial cable from your antenna to the back of your TV. Select the menu button on your remote and navigate to the correct input of your antenna. Find the channel scan option and click it. Setting up your antenna will keep you entertained and informed with the latest weather updates and emergency information for free. Call or email for questions or more information. Stay connected and stay safe.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the case against Alec Baldwin. Actor Alec Baldwin seen for the first time after involuntary manslaughter charges were filed in New Mexico in the shooting death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set of the movie Rust. New court documents filed Tuesday stating Baldwin failed to act to mitigate or correct the reckless safety violations, neither in his capacity as actor nor producer, and that Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, also charged with involuntary manslaughter, failed to do the same in her capacity as the film's armorer, directly resulting in Hutchins' death. The court filing stating Gutierrez-Reed was not qualified to accept the job as armorer. Her attorney speaking exclusively to ABC News overnight.
We are planning to take this to court. We are planning to go to trial. A jury is going to see Hannah for what she was.
And coming up at 7 a.m., legal expert Dan Abrams weighs in live. With your GMA First Look, I'm Mo Lalengi, ABC News.
Ready to shine from the inside out? Say yes to Nature's Bounty Advanced Gummies and Jelly Beans, the #1 brand for hair, skin, and nails, with 2 times more biotin to bring out more of your inner beauty. Get more with Nature's Bounty.
Hey, did you hear? There are new COVID-19 booster shots designed for recent Omicron variants. Pfizer, the more you want to do, the more we want to do. Schedule yours at vaccines.gov.
I get bladder leaks.
It's just a new way of life for me. The Always Discreet pad is super comfortable.
It feels like it's barely there.
Look at how much it holds, and it still stays thin. I've looked at myself in the mirror, and I can't see it at all.
That's the protection we deserve.
Introducing Astapro Allergy. Now available without a prescription. Astapro is the first and only 24-hour steroid-free spray. While Flonase takes hours, Astapro starts working in 30 minutes. So you can Astapro and go.
Temperatures on the cold side, 30s everywhere you go. Just above freezing from Gonzales to Yocum to Cuero at 35-degree reading in Victoria and near 40 along the immediate coast. And run these temperatures throughout the day. Not much change as you see. We'll keep them in the 30s pretty much where they are right now for the rest of the day into the overnight tonight. With scattered rain showers here and there beginning to move a little further to the east with time, but a fairly good coverage area today with cloudy skies and freezing precipitation, freezing rain mainly. Cuero north would be the best chance to see that as we go through the day today into early morning tomorrow. Today, though, 39 degrees specifically. Cloudy skies, cold, definitely scattered rain showers. Most of the precipitation liquid around the majority of the area, except for the far north. 36 degrees tonight with cloudy skies, rain likely. And rain tomorrow morning, beginning to move on out by the late morning afternoon. Temperatures warming near 50 degrees for your Thursday and getting even warmer than that, near 60 degrees for Friday. Topping the 70s by the weekend, that's certainly going to feel nice. Next rain chance next week on Tuesday.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is urging healthcare providers and consumers to stop using EzraCare artificial tears eye drops. The CDC is investigating at least 50 infections in 11 states that have led to instances of permanent vision loss, hospitalization, and even 1 death. The agency says most of the people with these infections reported using artificial tears, and EzraCare was the most common brand. Because the eye drops are preservative-free, they don't have ingredients to prevent bacterial growth. The CDC says people should stop using EzraCare artificial tears while their investigation continues. Leading us to your viewer poll, do you suffer from dry eye? Let's take a look. 62% of you say yes, you do, and 38% of you say no, you do not. We want to keep hearing from you. Come to crosswordstoday.com/vote. You can also scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. All right, still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. The Salvation Army making plans to open as a cold weather shelter.
Protecting your eyesight is important, but who can you trust for eye care? Luckily, we have an excellent resource of compassionate eye doctors right here in South Texas. At Victoria Eye Center, Dr. Sean Cavusi, Dr. Daniel Bustos, Dr. Peter Lamb, Dr. George Buzalis, as well as our skilled team of optometrists, provide treatment for diabetic eyes, cataracts, glaucoma, dry eye, LASIK, and much more. With 5 locations in South Texas, there's bound to be an office near you. Contact Victoria Eye Center to schedule an eye exam.
Doja Cat's dress has 30,000 Swarovski crystals. With the budget over here, they gonna put those, what you call those, the little red hots all over me. Wednesday, Isaac Mizrahi.
Starting this Thursday, Robin Roberts is taking you on a live adventure to New Zealand.
We're showing you all New Zealand has to offer, because after all, this is glacier country.
The adventure starts Thursday morning.
Live from New Zealand. Good morning, America.
What do you think the germiest spot in your kitchen is?
The handle of the sink.
It's actually the spice rack. It's the difference. Shock and awe here in the studio.
Next live, Alan Cumming and Antonia Gentry. Plus, travel myths in Travel and Me in 23.
You know, I'm thinking about my spice rack now and looking at it as a danger zone.
And now it's time for today's question of the day. What is the most popular soft drink in Texas? Okay, here are the guesses, Trey. Mary Helen, Michelle, Annie are all guessing Dr. Pepper. So is Brenda. Brenda's got a few guesses. Adriana says Coke. And let's see, Leticia and Edward, Dr. Pepper. Melanie's with Coke. Anna says tea. I don't know if that's a soft drink. Lydia says Dr. Pepper. And Suki says Coke. Thank you, everyone, for guessing this morning.
All right. Thank you so much for chiming in. I really appreciate that. Of course, you know what the answer is. It's Dr. Pepper.
Aw, DP.
There, sounds good already. So thank you for chiming in the question of the day. Another question of the day tomorrow. We'll get your Thursday started off with a good question of the day to get your brain going for your day tomorrow.
Victoria ISD will have a 2-hour delayed start time today. This is due to the winter weather conditions anticipated overnight and early morning hazardous road conditions. The elementary schools will start classes at 10 a.m. today, middle schools at 10:30, and high schools at 9:30 a.m. More area school districts delaying the start of their school day this morning. Classes at St. Joseph High School will open at 9:30 a.m. while Faith Academy classes start today at 10. Yakima ISD will have a 2-hour delayed start with buses running on a 2-hour delay schedule. Goliad ISD schools open at 10 a.m. today with a 2-hour and 10-minute delay for buses. A 2-hour delay for classes starting this morning for Hallettsville ISD and Bloomington ISD schools. And Shiner ISD classes will start today at 10 a.m. with buses running on a 2-hour delay. Due to the prediction of freezing rain, TxDOT crews are pre-treating bridges and overpasses on major highways that go through Goliad County. Those include U.S. Highway 59 and U.S. Highway 183. TxDOT crews will work 12-hour shifts around the clock to monitor roadways and continue treatment operations as necessary. The Salvation Army of Victoria making plans to open its main office at 1302 North Lewis Street as a cold weather shelter. The Salvation Army of Victoria opens its cold weather shelter when the temperature drops below 39 degrees. The Victoria Area Homeless Coalition will distribute warming supplies to those in need tonight at various locations. You can reach Midcoast Family Services at 361-575-7842. The center needs sleeping bags and socks. If you have some, you can donate at 2010 North Navarro, Suite A. The Warming Center is at C3 Victory at 1604 East Crestwood Drive. It's open from 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. And we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. Let's go ahead and turn to Trey for a last look at that forecast.
And thank you so much for seeing the rain continuing to today. Light rain, and best chances of any freezing rain will be from about Cuero northward throughout the day. 39 degrees we call it in Victoria. Not much change in temperatures overall the rest of the day. Low 36 degrees. Rain begin to move out for your day tomorrow. Morning rain only and afternoon clearing, or rain moving up by afternoon. And then we'll see warmer temperature of 50 degrees for your Thursday. Near 70 degrees by the weekend. Another rain chance on your Tuesday.
Trey, and thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful Wednesday. Come to crossroadstoday.com for more local news, weather, and sports. And join James, Don, Howie, Karina, and Gino today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. Stay warm.